Active listening. We've already covered in order to communicate well, you need to be aware of what barriers can come into play during a conversation. We now know what the barriers are, so now how do we overcome them? Active listening is just a fancy word for just actually listening. It's the opposite of passive listening, which is summed up by the noises you make when you're talking to a friend but not really paying attention. At the bottom left-hand side, I have put the name and the title of a really great TED Talk by Celeste Headlee on how to really have a good conversation. Please go watch that if you have the time. One of the things Celeste suggests is that we're used to hearing each other, but not necessarily listening to each other. The thing is, our environments aren't always optimized for listening to others. There's so much choice in how we collect information, it's easy to fall into a pattern of filtering out ideas and perspectives that don't fit in with our own experience. This habit often hinders us in real-life two-party conversations, especially when decisions have to be made. So, how do we improve our active listening skills? First rule is don't multitask. Put down your phone, or whatever you are doing, and take time to listen to the person or people in front of you. Give them your full attention. Don't be in a hurry to come up with a response before they have finished speaking, because you may miss the full story. This leads us into our second rule, which is don't interrupt. You may think you know the answer, true, but there could be additional details that you're missing. You want to understand where a person is coming from as quickly as possible, and you can't succeed if you're the one doing the talking. Third, don't equate your experience with someone else's. Remember that everybody's experience of the world is different. Try to see new perspectives as new opportunities, and offer your own experiences as an exchange, rather than to invalidate another person's argument. Fourth and finally, if you don't understand or you miss something, ask. If you didn't understand what someone said, or your attention went elsewhere for a minute when you're meant to be concentrating, be honest and ask the person to repeat themselves or explain in different words. Don't be embarrassed. People would rather feel understood than as if they're not being listened to. By following these 4 simple rules, you'll find it easier to communicate effectively and make decisions that will positively affect the group you are leading. And once you're happy communicating with your own group, then you get to reach out and grow. Watch our next video on networking.